Hey guys, how's it going? I hope everyone is doing well whenever you tune in and see the day or night. So, this is going to be a general reading for both Aquarius and Pisces. All right, so I will be posting timestamps after the live is done in case some people just want one or the other. All right, so when I say it's a general reading, it can cover anything like love, work, friends, family, health, all forms of abundance, all the good stuff, all the bad stuff, all right, and all the in between, okay? And it also, both of these readings are going to be timeless, meaning that they could resonate for the original time frame from around July 23rd to about August 23rd for some, but it could also resonate before or after that, okay? Since it is a general reading for multiple people, it will be different a little bit for everybody as far as when it may or not resonate. And if it doesn't resonate at all, also, never force it, right? So check your other placements if you don't already know what your sun, moon, and rising signs are. So I always encourage everyone to get a free birth chart if they haven't already. Astrology Cafe is the one that I use. It's pretty good. So even if you don't have your exact birth time, as an example, as long as you know the day that you were born and the location, the city, and all of that, then you can get a pretty, good, decent birth chart and find out your other placements, okay? So anyway, Aquarius, I pulled all of your cards here ahead of time, and we're going to get into your reading here in just a moment. So yeah, just as a heads up too, welcome to all the new people, welcome to all the other people that have been here before, welcome back, right? Everyone is welcome. I do take one photo at the end of all the cards, and I post it after the live in case you want to see the pictures all together more up close in detail, okay? So if you want to do that, all you have to do is click in the description box below and just follow the instructions to get to my Facebook, but it's pretty easy. So anyway, with all that being said, trying to think if there was anything else before we do our sound bell. No, I think we pretty much covered it. So if anything comes to mind, I will, say it when it comes to mind. So let's go ahead and get started here, Aquarius, and just be aware for some people, sometimes it can get a little loud if you're listening with headphones or something like that, or you're sensitive. So hopefully, it won't be too long and painful for you. All right, so if you want to, you can take a deep breath in and out whenever, just breathe normally. But yeah, we're basically just cleansing the energy, doing a little grounding and healing and getting in the right mindset and the energy of Aquarius. All right. All right. Still ringing there. All right. Slowly trailing off. All right. And so I've got a little bit of incense going here. So I like to watch the smoke, and it's good protection, incense, and clearing of all the energies too. So good stuff. All right, Aquarius. Let's see what we have here for you. So we're going to talk about the placements of the cards real quickly before we get into it, and then kind of call out the other zodiac signs that we may see present here in your reading. I'm trying to move the cards over a little bit just so you can kind of see like a general placement here, okay? But we basically have these 4 cards here at the top for you. So that's going to kind of coincide with the 4.5 to 5 week time period, whatever it is exactly, right? For July 23rd through August 23rd, okay? And then since we're using 2 different tarot decks, we'll also talk about what's in the top and the bottom of each deck to get even more insight. And then we have a tarot confirmation card. And at the very end, instead of oracle cards, I found these runes that my mom got for me many years ago. So I pulled your little rune stone already. All right, so let's go ahead and see here, Aquarius, what we have for you. So as far as other zodiac sign energy, we do have some Leo energy here, Aquarius. So it doesn't necessarily have to resonate, but for some, you could be dealing with a Leo, or it is a time frame referring to, let's say, Leo season, right? Or it could be, and obviously we're in Leo season now. Or it could be referring to Leo season of last year, or you could have a lot of Leo in your own personal birth chart, or the other person, or multiple people, or it means nothing at all, but I just wanted to kind of throw it out there. Now, you do have your Aquarius as far as your minor arcanas, because you only have one major, which is the Strength card, the Leo energy, right? But you have an equal amount, for the most part, of your minor arcana. So you have 2 cups, you have 2 wands, and then what else did you have? 2 cups, 2 wands, and then you have 1 sword, okay? And then the major, or not major, it's another word, the majority of your minor arcana here are pentacles. So you have 3 pentacles, so that's the one with the highest number. Okay, so that could be an underlying theme here to your reading as well. So when we talk about pentacles, coins, money, wealth, abundance, all those things, but it can be, bring up this energy or questions like, what do I value? What does the other person value? Or multiple people, general environment, situation value? Am I being valued enough? Are they being valued enough? Vice versa. Okay, so bring up questions of value, right? So that's kind of something that we just put in the background as an additional, message here in your reading. But let's go ahead and call out your cards and get into it. All right. So Aquarius, you have the 4 of Pentacles in the right side up position here as your first card. You have the 4 of Wands in the reverse position as your second card. As your third card, you have the King of Cups in the reverse position. And then your fourth card is your Ace of Swords in the right side up position. And I forgot to say which, and I'll mention it as we're on each card, but which time frames this may take place during, as an example, right? Nothing's set in stone. So the first card could be from around July 23rd to the end of July 31st, okay? And the second one could be from around August 1st through August 9th. The third one could be from around August 10th through August 17th. And the fourth one could be around August 18th through August 23rd, 24th, right? Again, nothing set in stone, but just kind of as a example of when these things might be taking place for some, okay? All right, so we start off your reading here, Aquarius, with this 4 of Pentacles energy as your first card. And when we talk about the first card in particular, more than the other ones, it could be energy from the recent past, whether that's you yourself, another person you're dealing with, or multiple people, general environment situation. But it also can be, when I say recent past, will be different for everybody, but it could be a couple of days ago, a couple of hours ago, weeks, months, years, etc., right? But with this 4 of Pentacles energy in the right side of position, this is somebody trying to control something, somebody possibly operating from a place of fear or fear that there's never going to be enough. So fear of lack of abundance or money or wealth or whatever it is you're trying to manifest. So here we see this medieval-like guy who's locking up his money in this chest, right? And so he has his bag of money on the side, and then he's going to lock it up here. So it's a little bit of controlling energy as well. And when I mentioned the other zodiac signs earlier, right, when I said you had the majority of Pentacles as your minor arcana, okay, so that's earth sign energy. So you could also be dealing with or have something to reference around Taurus energy, Virgo energy, Capricorn energy, but it doesn't have to be, right? It's not those particular signs official cards, but it does have earth sign energy there, okay? All right, now let's dive in a little bit even deeper here with this first card, the Four of Pentacles, right side up, about maybe why it's come out this way. So we're going to go in the past. So if this was recent past, right, whatever that means for you, we're going to go a little bit further back than that, okay? Again, whatever that means for you, okay? So what we have on the top of your deck here is the Prince of Cups in the reverse position, and on the bottom of the deck, we have the Princess of Pentacles in the right side up position. So this is past. I've been calling these like the sponsor cards. These cards made it possible for this energy to come out, okay? That's kind of a cool way to explain it, I guess, for now. All right, so it looks like here, Aquarius, that in the past, right, with the Prince of Cups in the reverse position, there could have been some type of offer or communication that you gave or someone was going to give to you, or just came in general from the universe that was perhaps either put on hold or not received well, or just straight up didn't happen, okay? And it could have been something that was a little bit of a disappointment here for you, Aquarius, emotionally, or for the other person, or multiple people, general environment situation, because the cups in the tarot represent our emotions, right? So it is in the reverse position, okay? So again, this could have been some type of medium-sized communication or offer. When I say medium, it is because it's a Prince or Knight card, right? So it normally goes Page, Knight, or Prince, and then King. So what's a medium-sized communication? It could be, as an example, that if you only text message someone in the past, then you would go from text messaging to talking on the phone or FaceTiming or whatever the next level up would be. Not a huge level up, but still a significant amount, okay? So that's kind of an example of a medium-sized communication, right? But even if it's from not a particular person, it could be an energy or from the universe in general, it would still be something that is significant message or size to it, or energy, or emotional feelings around it, something like that, right? But it looks like, even though maybe, since we're talking about, again, past energy and why this Four of Pentacles energy showed up in the current energies, and this is past energy, right? So this Prince of Cups acted as a catalyst then, because what's on the bottom is the Princess of Pentacles in the right side up in position here. So if there was something that didn't come through, or wasn't understood, or wasn't well received by you or someone else, vice versa, right? It kind of led to this Princess of Pentacles energy of being like, okay, so I'm open to learning something new. I'm not a queen yet, right? I want to focus on my abundance, my wealth, right? I want to move forward. So to go from this to here, it is for momentum in progress, okay? But it looks like maybe what's going on here for some, not necessarily everybody, but if there was something going on emotionally that was a little bit of a disappointment, or again, something was not understood, and then you decided, or the other person decided perhaps, or multiple people, general environment decided, you know what, I'm done with the emotions, I'm done with relationships, I'm just going to focus on my abundance, my coins, my wealth, right? Can be for some, not everybody. But then when that happened, it kind of led to this controlling type energy on somebody's part here, okay, with that Four of Pentacles in the right side up position. So somebody being like, okay, there's not enough money, or okay, I got to control this because deep down I'm scared that there's not enough, okay? So, you know, for some people, if they're not familiar with the idea of a poverty mindset or a lack mindset as far as money and abundance, because money, I mean, abundance isn't just money, it's whatever you want to manifest in your life. So especially if you have people in your family, like grandmother, grandfather, that were alive during the Great Depression, or you come from another country, or you grew up poor, or whatever it is, right? There could be some some things that need to be changed around the way you think about money or around the way you think about your abundance in general, okay? But let's keep going here because this is just one card and one kind of week or so of time that we're talking about, right? Because everything ebbs and flows. So let's see what else we have for you here, Aquarius. Now we get to your second card, and I said that could be from around August 1st through August 9th, right, the beginning of August. We have the Four of Wands in the reverse position. Now, excuse me. So this makes me feel here, Aquarius, along with the other cards that we already picked up, I want to go back to that Prince of Cups in the reverse position, okay? Even though this was past energy and they wanted me to talk about it kind of just with this card, it also can be talked about with the Four of Wands in reverse. The Four of Wands is an energy of a celebration put on hold, or some type of relationship, whether it's romantic, platonic, friends and family, or even self-love. Something here, something or someone or multiple people doesn't feel comfortable about something. When the Four of Wands would be normally right side up, right? It's about being vulnerable, about being comfortable. Sometimes in other decks, you see these two people at a party talking and no one else is around them, or they feel like no one else is around them. And they're just really comfortable having this conversation, right? So when it's in reverse, it could be, excuse me, let me turn that down. I usually keep on a little bit of ambient music in the background for my dog, so the commercials come on, so every once in a while I just turn it down, so I apologize for that. But anyway, yeah, it just looks like somebody's maybe not comfortable with something, or if there isn't necessarily celebrations put on hold, maybe you don't feel like celebrating, or the other people, general environment doesn't necessarily feel like celebrating here if it's not about getting vulnerable with someone, but somebody isn't comfortable with something. Okay, so just straight up there. All right. You know, these are not necessarily the funnest cards so far, right? But everything I say happens for a reason. And things again ebb and flow and change, and so these could be looked at as just like energetic blockages or a gentle reminder, okay? But as a little preview, your last card is really positive, okay? So I wouldn't freak out too much in case you're like, oh, I don't want to listen to her because all she says is bad things. No, I always tell the truth, but I try to say it in a gentle way if I can. And then, you know, we have some good stuff here too, so don't freak out too much here, Aquarius. And I say that with love because I'm an Aquarius moon, okay? Now we get to your third card here, which could be from around August 10th through August 17th or so. Again, nothing's exact. We're just giving you examples, okay? But we have the King of Cups in the reverse position. So again, showing back to the Prince of Cups that you had from the past in reverse. Okay, Prince over here, and then the King of Cups in reverse in the more future, current, present energies, possibilities. Somebody perhaps is not only emotionally dissatisfied with something, they could also be scared about, sorry, I think the camera went out of focus. There we go. They could also be not wanting to level up or not wanting some type of relationship or emotions to change, right? Because normally if you use both right side up, you would go from Prince to King. Somebody or an energy or environment could be like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm not ready, or the other person isn't ready, or it's just not a favorable time in some way here as far as these emotions. Now, what does it mean to level up, right? Kind of similar to what I was saying before when I was talking about small, medium, large communications or messages, right? Leveling up would be whatever the next step is. So as an example, I always say, if we're talking about matters of career or work, if you start off as an entry-level employee, then you'd move up from entry level to manager, right? And then from manager to CEO to partner, what have you. So it's the next logical step within a system, of course, depending on whatever you're watching this reading for. You could be watching this reading for everything, right? But it could be work, it could be health, it could be love, it could be creative stuff, it could be lots of things, right? But there's just this little bit of energy here, Aquarius, of somebody still not emotionally satisfied. Because the other thing with cups, right, is that I usually say, if the cups are right side up, the person would be saying to themselves, or the energy environment, what makes me emotionally satisfied, happy, what makes me emotionally fulfilled, what fills my cup, right? What do I want to drink more of? Okay, so again, it's kind of like maybe somebody doesn't know what they want yet, or they don't know exactly what their emotional priorities and boundaries are within some type of relationship or environment or with a person, right? But let's get even more info here, because these two cards are from the other deck, and they kind of spirits wanted me to talk about excuse me, this energy with that card. Okay. Sorry, hold on, sip of coffee. Okay, so we're going to talk about, again, the King of Cups for a second here. Just turn the music a little bit. Okay, with these two other cards, again, past energy. Okay, these are the sponsors. These past energies, two cards over here, made it possible kind of, again, for this King of Cups to come out in the reverse position. So what we have on the top of the deck here is that Prince of Staves in the right side up position. Then on the bottom, we have the Ten of Sacred Circles, also known as Ten of Pentacles, in the reverse position here. So it looks like here, Aquarius, that in the past, in some way, and we do have fire sign energy when we talk about wands, so it could be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, right? Oh, I might have to put that incense out soon because it's kind of strong. Hold on. Get over there. Oh no, I didn't put it out, but that's okay. Hopefully I didn't burn my card. All right, sorry. Anyway, with that Prince of Staves or Prince of Wands energy from the past, and then again, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, right? It could be that there was some type of, again, medium-sized offer or communication that you gave or someone gave to you, or it came in from the universe, but it's in the right side up position, so it's positive energies or placements and progress, okay? So, sorry, I gotta move this incense. It's like right up in my face. Okay. It was pretty for a minute, but I think it's almost out. Okay, so sorry guys. So with that Prince of Staves in the right side up position, right, with the medium-sized offer communication, somebody was open to learning. This young prince is learning how to also be confident, right? And what we see behind him is a Nile River. So the water in the tarot, again, just like the cups, represents our emotions. So he's learning how to use his emotions in a positive way to inform his decisions, but not overwhelm him, okay? But then when we see this here, okay, the 10 of Sacred Circles or 10 of Pentacles in the reverse position, it could be that they thought, or you thought, or an energy environment thought, that that would lead to possibly more support from their community, from their support system, whatever that is for you or them, right? Friends, family, lovers, mental health care worker, etc., whatever, right? But it didn't, okay? So this could be why this King of Cups is in the reverse position. Let me just put one of these down, so focus on these two for a second here. Okay, so perhaps somebody doesn't want to level up in some way emotionally, or they're worried about if they let their guard down, or if they start to be emotionally more satisfied in some way, that it's somehow going to take their support system away from them, or it's going to take their money away from them, right? When we talk about the Pentacles or the Sacred Circles, as known in this deck, or their abundance, whatever it is they want in their life right now at this time, or you do, right? Maybe they're worried that if they do that, that this could jeopardize that, maybe. Or they're just like, if I'm successful, are other people going to be jealous, what have you, right? But it's something about not feeling support, right? Why is this Native American huts in the reverse position? Here they're all together, right? It's culmination energy. It's 10 in the tarot, which is, it normally goes from 1 to 10, right? So again, it's like somebody doesn't, or a person or energy doesn't want to get to that next level just yet, because it could be lots of different things for different people, okay? But let's leave it there and keep going, because like I said, Your last card in the main four here is very positive, and it's a nice breath. It's a nice breath of fresh air after kind of all of this stuff. So let's bring that out. We got finally the Ace of Swords on the right side up position, and this is air sign energy. So it could be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, right? That's you. It's not your official card or their official cards, but it can represent air sign energy. And we said this could be from around August 18th through August 23rd, 24th or so, okay? But this is even just looking at the progress, right? Your last card, King of Cups in the reverse position, to now the Ace of Swords in the right side up position. Progress for momentum, right? And so here we have mental clarity, okay? And aces are always about endings and new beginnings, fresh start energy, okay? And it almost looks, because we're talking about Celtic or Druid deck that this one is, it almost looks like the Lady of the Lake with the Excalibur sword, right, coming out, okay? But it is, you know, again, very positive. And when the aces come out, not only is it endings and new beginnings, fresh start energy, it's gifts from the divine, right? If you know the story about the Lady of the Lake and Excalibur, the Lady of the Lake is one of the ancient Druid goddesses, and so she represents, right, deities, magic, higher vibrations, but higher power, right? So it's like gifts from the divine, okay? So you could say the Lady of the Lake is the divine or whatever. It's just a metaphor of the card, right? So we're not necessarily talking about religion here. We're talking about spirituality. So it can be whatever it is for you. Or maybe even if you're atheist, it could be something else, right? But it's really beautiful, okay? And so it's going to strengthen, if it hasn't started to already, for some, your natural talents and gifts. That's what the aces do as well. They're going to come in and give you these gifts that maybe some of you already have, or maybe there's some new ones, right? But it's really beautiful, and it's like, yay, right? Aquarius, finally, after a little bit of this stuff, now we have clearer skies coming through here. All right, now with that being said, let's talk about your confirmation tarot real quickly, and then we'll get to your little rune stone that I have here as well. So your tarot confirmation card is one card that's going to confirm all of these four cards that we kind of just talked about. So you have the Strength card in the reverse position. Now, this again, Leo energy, right? When we talk about confirmation cards, they're not past, there could be more future, current, present energies. But the way I like to read them too is when they're in a reverse position, it can be that they're almost like a warning, okay? Gentle reminder, right? So if you feel like you're not as strong as you used to be, or if you don't feel as courageous or as passionate or as courageous, as passionate, as creative as well. I was like, oh, all the C's. Also, if you're not feeling as creative, right? Or you're lacking in your confidence in some way, or the other person is general environment situation, all you have to do is kind of think of the Magician card in the tarot, so that you are a manifester, right? She's got the infinity symbol over her head, timeless magic and energy. So because it came out reversed here, I kind of feel like it's saying to you, Aquarius, that if you again feel a little bit of this energy of the lack mentality, trying to control things a little bit too much, not wanting to celebrate or get vulnerable with some, maybe for some also worrying about leveling up or changing emotionally in some way, how it might affect other areas of your life. I feel like it's just telling you that you are strong and you can be strong, right? So even if it's like bringing in other people that represent those qualities for you or support you in that way, to help remind you that you are strong. Okay, so that's kind of how I see it. All right, so let me show you your little rune stone here, and I don't have these guys memorized, so I already pulled it up ahead of time. It's just like one small paragraph here. Excuse me, God, that incense. Okay. All right, Aquarius, so the one you got is the new moon little stone here. Okay, so hopefully you can see at the top there's the new moon, and then just this flower plant, okay? So it says the natural cycles of the earth are the internal and external environments. They are energy cycles and bodily rhythms. They reflect nature's cycles to our own. The new moon stone radiates potential. The blossoming rose under a new moon signifies new possibilities, new opportunities, and a rebirth of some kind. If you turn the stone, you may wish to embark on a new project come the next waxing moon or new moon. This stone reflects growth, development, and it says maybe you're feeling new bursts of energy, new impulses you wish to act on. One word of advice here would just be pace yourself. Okay. So yeah, that new moon energy, fresh start, right? Opportunities, possibilities. Okay, all those things it just mentioned goes really nicely again with that Ace of Swords energy we talked about earlier. So yeah, so it says the only word of advice, it says just pace yourself. And I think that that's good advice for anybody at any time, right? But this is really beautiful. So it looks like here, Aquarius, again, just to sum it up, that maybe towards the middle of August, or so, right? It will be different for everybody, not exact, that maybe things are going to start clearing up by then and feeling more lighter, right? As some of this other energy was maybe a little bit more heavier, but not too bad, okay? So you really only had that one major arcana too, so it's not like super heavy energies, just a couple gentle reminders or things to think about, okay? So that is your reading here, Aquarius. Thank you so much for everybody's views, for your shares, for your likes. They're all free ways, and your subscriptions, all free ways to support the channel here, so I appreciate it. So we're going to go ahead and clear the energy and now do some shuffling and switch over to Pisces. So you're welcome to stick around and hang out if you want to check out the Pisces reading too. And that's something I forgot to say earlier in the beginning, is that we all have all 12 zodiac signs throughout our birth chart. So even if you're not a sun sign Aquarius or moon Aquarius or rising Aquarius, or even if you're not a sun sign Pisces or rising Pisces or moon in Pisces, you still have Pisces somewhere in your chart. So hopefully there'll still be some kind of message here for you in some way, okay? Yeah, so let's put the sun up here. I like to do that one at the end, but let's do the sound bell here as well. And then I'm kind of, okay, we're at like 32 minutes or so. So I'll try to remember that for the timestamps later. Okay, hold on guys. I'm gonna close this window to, oh, okay. Let's see. So it got a little warm from that, okay. So let's go ahead and clear the energy of Aquarius and get ready to get into Pisces here. So welcome to everyone who's just tuning in, right? But yes, this is going to be a general reading for Pisces, so it can cover anything like love, work, friends, family, health, abundance, all the good stuff, the bad stuff, and in between, okay? And it is a timeless reading, meaning it can resonate before or after July 23rd through August 23rd, okay? So yes, I am going to take a picture of all the cards afterwards in case you want to see them later more up close and detail. So all you have to do is click in the description box below later and follow the little prompts to get to my Facebook page. So anyway, let's clear our energy and set the intention for Pisces. All right, so if you want to, you can take a deep breath and just chill and breathe all of the good vibrations of Pisces that we're going to get into. All right, here we go. That was a good one. All right. Put this over here. And make sure I have a little bit of music here again. Super quiet. Just for the dog so they're not crazy. All right, so let's do some shuffling because we haven't done that yet, right? So, all right. Spirits guide my hands. Messages for water sign Pisces. These guys are big. Okay, hold on. Messages for water sign Pisces, the twin fish, for July 23rd through August 23rd. What do they need to see? Messages for water sign Pisces. Spirits guide my hands. What do they need to see? What do they need to know? Spirits guide my hands. Messages for water sign Pisces. For their highest vibration. Come on, work with me. Okay. For their highest vibration, spirits. For Pisces. And can you please help me hold these cards? What is happening? Hold on. I put too much on one side and then they don't want to. Okay. Messages for Pisces, July 23rd through August 23rd, Pisces. Okay, we'll take a break and come back to that one in a second. Let's shuffle this one. Messages for water sign Pisces, the twin fish, for July 23rd through August 23rd, Pisces. Messages for Pisces, spirits guide my hands. What do they need to see? What do they need to know? July 23rd through August 23rd, Pisces. Messages for Pisces. July 23rd through August 23rd, Pisces. Oh, okay. Stay over there for a second. Go back to this one. All right. Spirits guide my hands. Messages for Pisces. For water sign Pisces. For their highest vibration. For July 23rd through August 23rd, Pisces. For July 23rd through August 23rd, Pisces. What do they need to see? What do they need to know? Okay, that's the first one. Messages for Pisces. Messages for Pisces. 3 more cards, please, spirits. Messages for Pisces. July 23rd through August 23rd, Pisces. July 23rd through August 23rd, Pisces. Come on, get up in there. Messages for Pisces, spirits, please. For July 23rd through August 23rd, Pisces. What do they need to see? What do they need to know, Pisces? Messages for Pisces, July 23rd through August 23rd, Pisces. All right. So now I'll confirm with Spirit how they want these cards to be received real quickly. I'm going to put this over here. So, Spirit, smoothing the right side of position to represent the first tarot card for this Pisces. Okay. Okay. Spirit, smooth the Ace of Wands on the right side of position to represent the second tarot card for this Pisces. Okay. Spirit, smooth the Tower in the reverse position to represent the third tarot card for this Pisces. Okay. Spirit, to confirm you want this right side for this Pisces. Okay. And Spirit, to want the Ten of Wands on the right side of position. Why did I say that wrong? Spirit, you want the Ten of Wands in the reverse position to represent the fourth tarot card for this Pisces reading. Okay, so they want that one like that. So then we'll go ahead and take the top right and the bottom. These over here, and then I'll confirm real quickly. Spirit, you want the Princess of Swords in the right side of position to represent what's on top of this Celtic Druid deck for this Aquarius reading. Oh, okay. Spirit, you want the Princess of Swords in the reverse position to represent what's on top of this Celtic Druid deck for this Pisces reading. Okay. And Spirits, you want the Three of Pentacles in the right side up position to represent what's on the bottom of this Celtic Druid deck for this Pisces reading. Okay. And I'm guessing they want it here, but we'll confirm real quickly where they want this. All right. Spirits, you want the Princess of Swords in the reverse position and the Three of Pentacles in the right side up position to be talked about when I talk about the Ten of Wands in the reverse position. Yes. Okay, so they want them there. That was easy. Sometimes it's not always so straightforward. So now we'll go ahead and pull one from this and get the top and the bottom from this, and then pull your little rune stone thing. They're not rune stones. I don't know why I keep saying that. They're called chrome stones. But anyway, that's all good. All right. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for Pisces. What do they need to see? What do they need to know? One card only, Spirits, for July 23rd through August 23rd. Messages for Pisces for July 23rd through August 23rd. Pisces. All right. And then we take the top and the bottom. Let's just make sure. Spirits with the World card in the right side up position will represent the one and only tarot confirmation card for this Pisces reading. Yes, okay. And Spirits, do you want the Queen of Staves in the reverse position to represent what's on top of this Ancestral Path tarot deck for this Pisces reading? No? Okay. Spirits, you want the Queen of Staves in the right side up position to represent what's on top of this Ancestral Path tarot deck for this Pisces reading? Okay. And Spirits, do you want the Queen of Staves in the right side? There's another queen. The Queen of Sacred Circles in the right side up position to represent what's on the bottom of this Ancestral Path tarot deck for this Pisces reading. Spirits, please give me yes or no answer for the greater good of all who may interact in any way with this reading. Spirits, please give me a yes or no answer. Spirits, do you want the Queen of Sacred Circles in the right side up position to represent what's on the bottom of this Ancestral Path tarot deck for this Pisces reading? All right, they finally said yes. Okay, so we just need to find out where that one wants to go, and then we're getting closer to where we want to be, so we can start the reading. So, I don't know where they want this one. Maybe over here or down here with that one. All right, let me ask real quickly. Sorry, guys. Spirits and love and light, respect and reverence in advance, before, during, and after. Thank you for your wisdom, guidance, and advice given. Spirits, do you want me to talk about the Queen of Staves in the right side up position and the Queen of Sacred Circles in the right side up position when I talk about the Tower in the right side up position? No. Okay. Spirits, do you want me to talk about the Queen of Staves in the right side up position and the Queen of Sacred Circles in the right side up position when I talk about the World card in the right side up position? No. Okay, let's see if they want it here. Spirits, do you want me to talk about the Queen of Staves in the right side up position and the Queen of Sacred Circles in the right side up position when I talk about the Moon card in the right side up position? Yes. Okay, that's where they want it. So we'll leave it there and take a quick picture once we get our rune, and then we'll start. So Spirit guiding hands, messages for the water sign Pisces for July 23rd through August 23rd, Pisces. All right. And I'll just open the page to that one, so when we read it later, we'll be ready. Okay, page 27. There we go. All right. I'm going to make sure they want that one too. I forgot to do that earlier. Spirits tell me to, what do they call this? Okay, Spirits, do you want this stuff in redder? Chrome stone for this Pisces reading. Spirits, please give me a clear and effective answer. Do you want the stubborn rudder stone for this Pisces reading? A clear and definitive yes or no answer, Spirits. Okay, they finally said yes. All right. When they do that, they'll be like, no, yes, no, yes, yes, no. And I'm like, okay, you gotta choose. You gotta pick. You gotta give me the clearest message. Okay, so we finally got it. So let me take a quick picture and then we will get started. Here, Pisces. Pisces. Okay. Let's see if I can get this. Sometimes I need to stand up. Hold on. It'd be having a glare sometimes if I don't, or won't be in focus or something. Okay, I think that's good. I want to make sure. Okay, good enough. Yes. All right, so Pisces. Let's get started finally. Okay, so let's pause for a moment here just because when I do the timestamps after the fact, I've been doing one for like before the shuffling if people want to see it, and then I'll do one for like after the shuffling if they don't want to see it. Okay, so I will say what I said in the beginning of the reading real quickly, just in case people are just tuning in, right? But this is a general reading. You can cover a lot of different areas in your life. It can be about you or the person around you that you're dealing with, or multiple people, general situation. It is a timeless reading as well, so it could resonate for you before, after July 23rd through August 23rd. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. And yes, I took the photo if you saw, but trust me, I did. So if you want to see the photo, all you have to do is click in the description box below and get all the instructions there. All right, so let's see what we have here for you, Pisces. Yeah, you have 3 major arcanas here in your reading. So that's not necessarily a good thing or bad thing. It's just something to notice. So the more major arcanas you have can signify more intense changes or energy kind of passing through these time frames. Okay, so you have your official card as your first card, the moon card. So we'll talk about that in a minute, but that is always a good omen when your own card comes out in your reading. Okay, so yay for you, Pisces. Okay, then you also have some Scorpio energy. You also have the World card, which represents 4 different zodiac energies. So Scorpio again, Leo, Taurus, and Aquarius. So you could be dealing with another Pisces, another Scorpio, Leo, Taurus, or Aquarius, or you could have a lot of those signs predominantly in your birth chart or the other person's birth chart, or it could be referencing a time frame, though, one of those seasons, right, from this year or last year or coming up, right? Or it doesn't necessarily have to mean anything at all, but I like to mention it at the beginning of the reading so I don't forget, okay? So anyway, moving on, let's go ahead and call out the rest of your cards here and talk about the placements. Let me do that first too, okay? So I'm going to move this down a little bit so you can kind of see the 4 cards a little bit more on frame at least. Anyway, I'll show you them up on the screen too. But all right, so these 4 cards are going to cover the 4.5 to 5 week time period of July 23rd through August 23rd. Okay, so the first card is where we are now, right? So it's from July 23rd through July 31st, the end of July. The second card could be from around, right, nothing exact, August 1st through August 9th or so. And then the third card could be from around August 10th through August 17th. And then the fourth card could be from around August 18th through August 23rd. Okay. So yeah. So what we have here is the moon card in the right side up position. We'll call it your cards here, Pisces. We have the Ace of Wands in the right side up position. We have the Tower in the right side up position. And we have the Ten of Wands in the reverse position. And then we'll talk about the other cards underneath as they correspond to where Spirit wanted me to talk to you about them. Okay, so the first card is your official moon card, Pisces card, right? And so this shows up here as your first card. And when we talk about this being a good omen for you, it could be that during this time frame, Pisces, you are feeling more in your element, more like yourself, okay? Because of the cards that are underneath it that I'll mention in a moment, it could be definitely that you're feeling more in your element, right? And the higher vibrational frequencies of Pisces, right, would be creativity, passion, you know, supporting the arts, dreamlike energy, that kind of thing. But the more negative vibrational side of Pisces or the moon card, right, would be not seeing something clearly, right? So it could be that somebody is taking that water sign Pisces energy of the emotions and letting it cloud their judgment, maybe not seeing something clearly, like, is this real or is this not real? So I usually use excuse me, the example of the coat rack for the moon card. So if you're staying at someone's house and you're about to go to sleep and they turn off all the lights and you're in the living room and you see the coat rack and you get up to get some water, like you've been asleep and you forget where the coat rack is. And then when you see the coat rack in the dark, you're like, what is that? Is that my friend? Is it a person? Is it a monster? Whatever, right? So that's kind of energy of the moon card for some if we're talking about not seeing things clearly. But it's different when it shows up in your reading, Pisces, right? Because that is your card. So if you were to just turn on the light, if you weren't seeing things clearly, or the other person would, or general environment situation, then they would just see things for what they were and they would see the coat rack, okay? But I feel like this is a more positive placement here for you because it's your card. So I say that because of what's underneath it. Shh, don't start, Clea. No. Sorry. I say that because of what's underneath it, right? So these two sponsored cards or energy from the past made it possible for the moon card to come out for you, right? So what we have on the top of the deck is that Queen of Staves in the right side up position. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. And then the Queen of Sacred Circles in the right side up position as well, or it's also known as Queen of Pentacles in the right side up position. So Earth sign energy, right? So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, okay? But when you have these two queens back to back, right, it's like royalty energy, okay? It's higher vibrations, right? Both of these queens are very different from each other, but they're both in a position of authority. They're both well respected. People come to them for answers or advice or all sorts of things, okay? But when we start off with this Queen of Staves energy, which is Sagittarius energy, she has the Nile River behind her. So she's using her emotions in a positive way. And again, being a queen, right, or especially back then, people used to dress the queens. They helped them do every little thing, right? So she has her eyes closed in this card, right? So you wouldn't necessarily close your eyes if there was a predator around you. But because she has such a big team supporting her, making it possible for somebody in a position of authority, they usually have a big team around them, that she can take that moment of rest to just rest, like straight up, or to work more on her confidence, right? And then here with the Queen of Sacred Circles or Queen of Pentacles energy, we see the older grandmother, Native American woman here, and she's looking at this child, okay? And so she is more of a nurturing type of queen or energy at that point in her life, right? Or just because of her personality, not necessarily everybody wants to be nurturing to children, right? But she is at the culmination energy of her life, right? We see the full moon behind her. We see a little wheel here of all the different moon cycles, okay? So she's at her peak, okay? A peak of life, peak of energy of her life so far, okay? So they both represent abundance. They both represent for momentum and progress, right? And when we talk about wands in particular, we're talking about our defenses, our immune system, our health for some, but the Queen of Staves, right, or the Queen of Wands is like, I have my defenses exactly where they need to be. I'm not overly defensive, but I'm also not going to be a victim, right? So that's a good placement of the Wands energy. And then with the Pentacles or Sacred Circles, again, it's almost like, sorry, let me turn that down. Go down. Okay. It's almost like this Queen of Pentacles or Queen of Sacred Circles energy is that she's has enough money, she has enough abundance of whatever it is she wants in her life. Okay, so again, these two energies, whether it was you yourself here, Pisces, or someone around you helping you embody these energies, or the other person, general environment situation, it made it possible for your lucky omen moon card energy to come out. Okay, so again, that's you there. So that's really beautiful, Pisces. I love it. So let's keep going because you have some really good stuff coming up here as well. So now when we get to your second card here, and this could be from around August 10th through August 17th or so, we have the Ace of Wands. Again, another Wands energy here, okay? So the Aces are all about endings, new beginning, fresh start energy. And here we see this little deer, and he's looking at the leaves on the wands falling off, right? We see the sun in the background, okay? All these beautiful things. So the Ace of Wands, again, is about passion, creativity, right? The birth of something new, because the wands can be seen as a phallic symbol. So I always tell people that if you are a woman and you're of a certain age and you want to have kids, you may be more fertile at this time, right? But for majority of everyone, it is more about the metaphor of this card. So the birth of a new project, the birth of a new phase of your life or someone else's life, right? So it doesn't necessarily have to be about fertility, okay? And also with the sun in the background, right? That's like the represents spiritual downloads, revelations. I finally understand something around this ending, new beginning, fresh start energy. Okay, so this is really beautiful to see. And again, this is for momentum and abundance here as well, Pisces. Now, I forgot to mention earlier at the beginning of your reading too, what you had as far as your minor arcana. We talked about the major arcana a little bit, but let's see here. You have you have 3 wands cards, 1 sword, 2 pentacles. Okay, so wands is the predominant major, sorry, I said that wrong. The wands are the predominant minor arcana in your reading. So that can be another underlying theme. So again, when we talk about wands, like I said before, are the defenses too high? Are the defenses too low? Am I being a victim? Am I being a bully? Or am I just right, kind of in between? So this is both the positive in between, just right, balanced energy of the wands. And again, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. Okay, so that's just kind of a thing I wanted to mention that I forgot to mention earlier. All right, so moving on now. So we get to your third card here, and this can be a little bit of an energetic blockage or gentle reminder, right? But it's not the end of the world. And I think the camera went out of focus, but hopefully it'll come back in just a moment. There we go. So your third card, and we're talking about here, is the Tower in the right side up position. And this could be from around August 10th through August 17th or so that I was saying earlier. But this is, when we compare it to the one before it too, remember how I said there's one here, right? The sun energy, just like the top of the tower, is your crown chakra, right? So when that lightning hits the crown chakra or the top of the tower, it's wanting someone to change the way they think, perhaps, okay? It could be a small change or a big change, but it looks really scary in the card, of course, but it's really about something has to completely break down and start from the foundation up again, okay? So having some type of revelation, a spiritual download. Oh, now I finally see all the pieces of the puzzle from a higher perspective, what have you, okay? So again, this could be about you or someone around you or multiple people, general environment situation. Again, Scorpio energy, okay? But it, again, doesn't have to be bad, okay? It just means that something is going to change. And when the Tower shows up to, you always say kind of that, or you can say that it's like, you can go with the flow of these changes or you can resist it. But if you resist it, it's just going to be harder for you or the other person, multiple environment situation, multiple people, right? Because here we see the people falling out of the tower, right? So if they had been like, oh shit, the tower's on fire, we gotta go, maybe they could have just walked out of the bottom, right? But maybe they waited too long, and then they were like, okay, we have to get out now, we're gonna die, right? So that would be the more uncomfortable part of it for some, but it doesn't have to be. So anyway, let's dive in deeper, kind of see maybe why this card came out here for you, Pisces. So we're going to talk about what's on the top and the bottom of the deck along with that tower card. All right, so these again are past energies, and this is more future, current probabilities, possibilities. So what we have here is the Princess of Swords in the reverse position on the top of your deck, and then we have the Three of Pentacles, right? Yes, on the bottom of the deck in the right side up position. So what it's saying here, Pisces, that in the past, in some way, there could have been some mental confusion around something, around possibly not for everybody, but for some, it could be third-party energy. And third-party energy doesn't always have to be bad, okay? And it doesn't always have to necessarily be about romantic stuff either, right? So when you have the swords in the reverse position here, that represents the anxiety, worry, overthinking, okay? And then when we talk about the Three of Pentacles, here we see, we actually technically see four people, right? And a tiger, that's funny. I just noticed that. These are newer cards that I have, okay? But basically, it's like if somebody is working with one person, so you have two people, they're both working with each other, the third party energy could be another person interfering or another energy interfering. So if one person, let's say, as an example, is a workaholic, or somebody's family interfering, or what have you. It's just some type of interfering energy, but it's not for everybody. I just wanted to mention that, right? With the Three of Pentacles here. Okay, so generally I would say when we talk about the Three of Pentacles, it's about working together with someone and figuring out a system or a team, okay? So let's say this guy is the architect, right? Or the stonemason, all right? And then these four people here are guiding him and telling him what to do. Okay, so it's like, how do I work with them? They each probably have different responsibilities. So maybe one of them is the architect that plans the designs, or the graphic designer, or whatever you want to call it, right? And then the other two people are the people that are the producers, or the people that give the money for this project, or whatever it is in this example, okay? So there could have been in the past, again, why maybe this Tower card came out here, Pisces, is because there was some type of mental confusion, anxiety, worry, overthinking, okay, around possibly building wealth too, right? So when we talk about pentacles as money or abundance, coins, wealth, right? So it could be that somebody was, again, not feeling like they were part of a team, or the roles were a little bit confusing here, or it could be that they were feeling, or you were feeling here, Pisces, that they wanted to change the dynamic, right? Because the princess, when she's reversed, it's like she's not ready to become a queen yet. So what does she still need to learn, or what is she denying, right? So when you put out the Three of Pentacles here too, maybe somebody doesn't want to change the dynamic and take on more responsibility or more work, even though it would mean maybe more money eventually, because maybe it would just bring out different relationships, or just change again the whole dynamic here, okay? So it's like what is needed is again, to get the Princess of Swords to reverse and come right side up and get the mental clarity and let go of the anxiety, worry, overthinking, is to embrace the change, embrace the spiritual downloads, the revelations, that kind of thing, okay? So again, these people are falling out of the tower and it looks really scary, but if they hit the water, like they're gonna be all right. Okay, so if they just go straight down, hopefully they won't hit the rocks and they hit the water. What does water in tarot represent? The emotions, right? Our emotions. So don't run away from the emotions that may come up around this change, again, whether it's big or small, good or bad, right? But kind of lean into it if you can, because it'll just be easier for you or easier for the other person. But let's keep going and see what else we have here for you, Pisces. All right. So now we're coming into your fourth card here, which could be from around August 18th through August 23rd or so, is the Ten of Wands in the reverse position. All right, so this is a little bit of an energetic blockage or challenge again, or gentle reminder, as I like to say. But, you know, Pisces, perhaps you or someone here, again, doesn't want something to be over. They don't want something to change in some way. With the Ten of Wands in reverse, right? Being a culmination number in tarot, they don't want the ending or new beginning, or you don't in some way, or multiple people, general environment situation. But normally this guy would be at the top of the hill. He's worked really hard to get there, and he's going to put all his wands down and then go home and see his family, right? But it's in reverse. So it's like, yeah, somebody doesn't want something to be over. Somebody perhaps doesn't want the new beginning around the relationship dynamics at work, in a romantic, platonic, friends, family, etc., or health, right? Because again, wands can be health too for some, okay? So it could be that there's something going on here with our defense mechanism, our immune system in this time period, but hopefully not, right? And of course, I always say, because I'm not a doctor clearly, but always consult your doctor on the big issues of health stuff, or multiple doctors to get a second opinion, all those things, okay? But I really just feel, because it's following the Tower, right, that it's somebody doesn't want this change or isn't ready yet in some way for the ending and the new beginning, okay? Because it might even be easier, right? If for some, as a general kind of stereotypical thing to say, right, could be that if you're used to it always being uncomfortable and scary and constantly changing, the idea of retiring, of putting the sticks down and then going to see your friends and family and rest some. Maybe if somebody is a workaholic, when we were talking about the Three of Pentacles, right, or the work amount changing, or the effort, if it's not work, the effort you put into a relationship, into your life, into your health, whatever it is, maybe they're worried about that changing here. But again, if you can kind of lean into it, it doesn't have to be so uncomfortable. Let's keep going though here, Pisces. So finally we come here to your tarot confirmation card. Now this one little baby tarot card, since it's smaller, that's why I call it baby, it's going to confirm all four of these cards we kind of just talked about, the 4.5 to 5 week time period. So what you got is the World in the right side up position. Dun, 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 look at that. That's beautiful, okay? So the World, again, could be Scorpio energy, Aquarius, Leo, and Taurus, all right? But doesn't necessarily have to mean something to you, just wanted to call it out, okay? But the World is about, much like the Ace of Wands as you had as your second card, endings and new beginnings, right? You're seeing the earth from space perspective, right? And so it's like carving something out of nothing, right? If we were an alien, let's say as an example, and you hadn't been to Earth yet, you're like, what are the possibilities? There's so many different possibilities because you haven't been there yet, right? Nothing's set in stone. So it's carving something out of nothing, fresh start, new energy, okay? Seeing all the possibilities before you. So I believe that, you know, that World card energy, since it's confirming all four of these cards, that if you can remain yourself as much as possible here, Pisces, with the Moon card, right? Stay in your higher vibrational frequencies of Pisces. If you can look for the knowledge, the spiritual downloads, the revelations around all these endings and new beginnings, fresh start energy. If you you know, don't ignore stuff if there's health stuff coming up. And when we say health, right, that could be mental health or physical health or spiritual health, energetic health, all the health, right? As long as you don't ignore those things, I think that you'll be okay here. So there's still some really good stuff right? There's a little bit of a couple energetic blockages, but then there's also really good stuff here too. So that's what I have for you as far as the tarot. But before you go, let's talk about your little, what do they call these? They're chrome stones. Chrome stones. Okay. So I pulled up the little paragraph here already since I don't have these guys memorized. All right. So the one that you got is called the stubborn rudder. Okay. So hopefully once the camera focuses there, but it looks like you see the back of this person and they have their arms kind of crossed. And then their feet look like roots. Okay, so that may be the stubborn thing. But let's see here what it says. It says the stubborn rudder is a person who is unwilling to change or move in a new direction. The stubborn rudder is stuck in an old routine. All changes can be difficult, but it goes easier if it is self-initiated. Perhaps you should do some volunteer work or take a class. At any rate, take some baby steps to give birth to yourself again. The stubborn rudder might be bound by her fears and anger, so much so that she is frozen in panic, unable to move. The stubborn rudder does not like change, but is frustrated with the way that things are. Okay, so that's really interesting that that came out. You know, a lot of times when I work with the oracle cards, it will sometimes confirm what we already have pulled for the tarot. So I would put the stubborn rudder with that tower card, right? So don't resist the change, lean into it, because something needs to change, like the last line of that thing said. They're scared of change, but they're also frustrated with the way that things are. So it's like the change is going to happen, right? Whether you want it to or not. So it's best to kind of lean into it. All right. So anyway, that is what I have for you here, dear Pisces. So thank you guys so much as always for your likes and shares and your subscriptions. Those are all great free ways to support my channel here. And again, I did take the picture. So if you want to check it out after I'm done here with the live, all you have to do is click in the description box below and follow the instructions excuse me, on how to get to my Facebook page. It'll be posted there shortly. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I'm going to take a break and then I will be coming back later today with Aries and Taurus. And then tomorrow will be Gemini, Cancer. And I think that should be all 12 signs. So we went kind of backwards following Leo through the signs. All right, so if you want to join me for those other ones too, that's awesome. But if not, that's okay. But yeah, you guys take care and I'll see you in a little bit. All right, bye. See ya.